Hundreds of refugees live crammed inside a mosque in the Albanian city of Kruma. Family members often lose each other in the confusion. Relief organizations are working to help these Kosovo refugees. When we return on DW TV.
A few blankets are their bed for the night. The ones who got here first were able to find a place inside where they could at least sit. It's a bit warmer in here, and now and then some food finds its way into the prayer hall. Families often lose someone in the mass of people, so a volunteer from the local community calls out a steady stream of names. Meanwhile, in the mayor's office, some progress is being made. A few suitable locations are available. Proximity to roads, electricity, running water, and adequate distance from the border are the decisive criteria.
From here to the main road is 1.5 kilometers, and from here, from this cross to the city, it's 5 kilometers. Also, all the road does mean that it's 6.5 kilometers far away from here.
This is the first band. This is not Paisa.
Where's Kukës?
Yes, this is Golay.
This is good. This is going out.
It's the first one.
It's the first one.
What's come out of the meeting is this. The local authorities have suggested 2 sites for camps. Unfortunately, it's too late to look at them today, so we'll go and see them tomorrow. As for the possible location we saw from the air, the Swiss are already there. So we'll come back tomorrow and look at the 2 sites the mayor proposed. We'll check out the conditions and make a decision.
Salil tries to make contact with his organization. The mayor has expressed a desire to help, but hasn't decided how or when. The next morning, the Unimog is in the camp near Kukës, ready for loading. CM Köster is the driver. He knows how to get the 1,400 food rations to a UNHCR border camp some 3.5 hours away. We leave Kukës heading north, past an overcrowded Kosovo Liberation Army barracks. The man at the wheel of the Unimog knows every inch of this route. CM Köster's been working for the Technical Aid Agency in Albania since September. He never thought the misery here would reach such dimensions. At this point, he says, there's no choice but to save whatever can be saved.
All you have to do is take a good look at the situation. Somebody's got to help out. After all, Albania is the poorest country in Europe. Even without the refugee crisis, the country receives development aid. There's no way this country can deal with the flood of refugees on its own.
The higher up into the mountains we get, the thicker the oncoming traffic out of Kosovo. CM Köster says if the last few days are any indication, what we'll find at the end of our drive in the country is a border camp bursting at the seams.
From Papa Charlie 4.
CM Köster knows he'll be one of many drivers bringing back as many refugees as possible on his return trip from the border. Many private carriers swiftly realized the business opportunity in forced expulsions and human suffering.
What are you bringing up here?
Humanitarian daily rations. Over.
Roger that, roger that. I will just call Papa Charlie 9 because he's down there for the moment. I am at the border and he will tell you what to do.
Okay, I will stand by.
When we finally get there around noon, the Unimog driver isn't the only one who's surprised. Yesterday, this camp was jammed with people. Now, only about 150 people are sitting here waiting to leave. The Serbs have closed the borders again.
Drop the rope in my car and I'll go up and it's going to be enough. Is that okay? Okay. Because we are sacked from the cafe.
Even so, the Norwegian worker from the UNHCR is happy to see the German driver and his shipment come in. There's no telling when more refugees will arrive.
Combat ration. But it looks very much better today. Just been here this morning. Just about to give up. We're close to an epidemic here. We have 800 people sleeping here in garbage outside, and the hospitals and everything is so dirty that we're close to an epidemic. And all the local drivers has increased the price to a level that's half year's wages.
What's now the rate?
First it was $1,000 mark for 18 kilometers. Now we're down on 50 Deutschmark.
Per head?
No, for one trip into Krumah. For one truck, one trip.
Albanian workers unload the German truck along with KLA soldiers. What's politically correct and what's not doesn't have much meaning up here anymore. Whatever the cost, the people want to get out of here and go wherever they think they might be better off. By afternoon, the camp has emptied out noticeably. The journey continues, even for the ones who barely have the strength to take a single step. The aid workers give instructions to bring the old man to the camp in Kukës to join his family. Anyone who hears that a ride in the Unimog is free tries to get a place for themselves and their families. Here too, the KLA lends a hand. The alliances forged here are born of necessity. Some of the aid packages are distributed as travel provisions. CM Köster heads back with his human cargo. He doesn't make the trip at night anymore. What never ceases to amaze him is the solidarity the Albanian people show for their ethnic brothers and sisters from Kosovo.
I know of families, Albanian families of 12 people, who've taken in 40 refugees. You have to remember, an Albanian family with 12 people doesn't live like we would in Germany, in a house with 12 rooms. For them, things are usually pretty crowded as it is.
Is it possible to get used to the things you see every day?
It may sound strange, but you develop a thick skin. You have to. You can't and you shouldn't get completely wrapped up in it. It'll destroy you. And that's not going to help anyone.
By evening, we've reached our destination. By the look of it, the chances are not too good that the families riding in the back of the truck will have a much better time of it here. Thousands of refugees are literally living in the dirt. The unhygienic conditions are a bad portent for the weeks to come. In spite of the desperate situation, the new arrivals are glad to be here. They're a good distance further away from the border, and who knows, maybe somehow things will get better. CM Köster finally has a chance to bandage up his sore foot. Tomorrow morning, he'll be back on the road, provided his colleague from Cologne has been able to set up a new transit camp in Kruma.
Soon the Italians will have 8 water tankers in service. Each one holds 8,000 litres. They agreed to deliver us 3 tankers full of water per day. As long as we focus on concrete approaches, then we can think a lot more substantially about the situation and get done whatever we can get done.
You mean you focus only on the ones you're able to help?
Of course, otherwise we'd despair.
Whichever borders were opened or closed that evening, there's still a shortage of basic necessities.